Hare
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining us here today on Friday for discussions on Bhagavad Gita. We will get started on chapter number 9 after this brief prayer to the spiritual masters. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Welcome once again, dear devotees, and we will get started. I'm going to start sharing my screen here, and let me know whether you're able to see my screen. So let's get this one out of the way. Okay, this one has to be here. Cannot go anyplace else.
Mataji,
Yeah?
at this moment, I cannot read. Maybe I can read later. Not at this moment. I'm so sorry, Mataji.
No problem. We'll keep your name there, and when your turn comes, if you don't speak, then we will just go back to the next person. How does
Okay,
that sound?
Mataji. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So I lost my Zoom. Okay. So we have Simi Mataji, we have Sukumal Radhe Mataji. Kuran cannot read today, and Sutava can read intermittently. So we will go back and forth between Sukumal Radhe and Simi, and then we'll wait for Sutapa to jump in and say, I can read now. Okay? That sounds good? What do you say? So I'm going to start sharing my screen again. I'd have to stop sharing that. And where is my notepad? Where we have the names. I have too many windows open. Did I close it by any chance? I think. I get that. Now I got it. Okay. All right. Finally, maybe I'm in luck. Do we see? Do you see?
Yes.
What do you see?
Chapter
Okay,
9.
9. Fantastic. So Kumalari Mataji, get going. 3 verses each, maybe?
Yeah, 3 verses, yeah. The most confidential knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world.
Hare Krishna. Text 4. Mataji, can you move little bit this way? I don't know. I I don't want to. I cannot have the all the.
You are not able to see everything?
Yeah, it's getting covered by our pictures, like your screen.
Your pictures?
Like
And
our
side by side gallery, she's
yeah.
saying, I think.
Oh,
She
but
means
Something
side
like
by
this.
oh no,
Have,
you have to get rid of the gallery yourself.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I am only sharing the notepad and the browser.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to do it.
Just do side by side speaker, just delete that. Go to the full screen.
Okay, why don't you continue? Because I will
Yeah.
try. By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe pervaded all.
Why don't I share the link on chat here, and then you can read. We will tell you the verse to start with, and then you can read from there. Will that work for you, Simi?
Or she can read. You have the book, Simi?
Okay, so why don't you continue? I'll bring the book in the meantime.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet, everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. I think some.
Jyoti, yeah. Jyoti, Mataji, can you read 3 verses? Jyoti.
Mataji, I will read next. Next. I,
Okay, Parul, can you read?
I forgot actually. I'm looking.
Mataji, I'm driving, won't be able to read. I can
Okay.
read.
So Kamal Rate Mataji, continue to read the whole chapter.
O son
I
of
got it.
Kunti.
I got the book.
Okay, read 7, 8, 9.
7. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral.
Should I read Mataji or wait for Jyoti Mataji?
Jyoti Mataji, whenever you are ready to read, just when somebody finishes reading, you just tell us that you're able to read, right? Otherwise,
Mataji, I can read. I have found my specs.
Okay, good. Then read 10, 11, and 12.
Ji, Hare Krishna ji. Post deride me when I descend in
No,
human form. You
10.
do not know my. यही पढ़ना है ना माता जी 10th okay. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving being under the rules. This manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Who deride me
Hare
when I
Krishna,
descend in
Mataji. I'm here.
sorry.
Hmm.
Who deride me when I descend in human form? They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme lord of all that be. Shall I read the next one also?
Yeah, we
Yes.
are
Those,
already 3 each.
those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheist views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. O son of
No,
Pritha,
No.
no, no.
To Komal Radhe. Only 3,
okay,
Mataji. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Vindhyavali Mataji is here too.
Yeah, she will come after you because she
Okay.
doesn't recognize anybody's voices, right? Then there'll be
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Always chanting my glories,
O
endeavoring
son
with
of Pritha.
O son of Pritha.
O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form.
Okay. Vindhyavali Mataji, 3, please.
But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier and the syllable Om. I am also the Rigved, the Sama, and the Yajurvedas. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. Hare Krishna.
Simi Mataji, 19, 20, and 21 for you.
Hare Krishna. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly, purified of sinful reactions. They take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of the pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Jyoti?
Hare Krishna. By those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditation on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Those who are devotee of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Hare Krishna ji.
Sukumal Radhe Mataji.
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live in me. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. I I envy no one. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but what whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Hare Krishna.
This word, Mataji, this one?
Abominable.
Right. Abominable.
I'm sorry.
Krishna,
Thank you. You got it.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees never perishes. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this is of the righteous Brahmins, the devotee and the saintly king. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Jyoti Mataji for the close.
Hare Krishna ji, engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. So anything you observed, any questions, any reflections on what we have read so far before we go into the details of
Mataji, one thing struck me. People worship ghosts also. I never thought they could worship.
Yeah, a lot of people work like black magic and all that. Those people
That is
they worship
worshipping
ghosts.
uh,
Bhoot
oh,
Pishach and all that, yeah.
that black magic I thought will be there some process they are doing, but worshipping means that is they are worshipping.
Yeah, because you get powers, right? You get mystic powers to do that. So these ghosts, etc., have the powers to give you those mystic powers, which create problems for others, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. What about worshiping the ancestors? What did you think about that? Right?
I thought they were worshipping goddess Durga to get that they most of them what I have seen in pictures and all they are chanting Om Chamudai Viche or something like that. Some mantras, which mantras are not. I never thought it would be for the ghost. I thought it would be for the Durga or some demigods.
Yeah, yeah. Durga is actually the Maya, right? And then there is another form of Durga, which is Chandi or Kali, right?
Yes, Kali.
So people worship Kali to get certain things, and then even lower thing, they will go and worship ghosts. But my question was that what about worship of the ancestors?
That also I never thought anybody worshipping ancestors. How
Right,
they worship
right.
because we only give this thing that food and water on that with that there is some special days and you request for their blessing that if you have done any sins or anything or any you committed any offenses against them please forgive. That's all I know about it, but I never thought like the worshipping Krishna or worshipping other gods we worship them. I've
Right.
never
Yes.
I-
So remember, hold on. There is. I saw Niral Prabhu. I don't know what happened to him. Did he drop or he didn't get accepted. This is a new thing. I'll ask him to join again. So while I'm texting Neil Babu, so we are thinking in the context of India, right? What happens in India, but Gita is only for Indians. Is it? Question.
No.
Right?
No.
It's
No,
for
ma-
the universe, right? Gita is applicable throughout the universe. So there are other
everybody.
countries. There are other countries also in this world, like in some of the African countries where they do voodoo magic and all that. They worship ghosts, and in Japan you will find temples to worship the ancestors, pitris, right? So when they talk about the ancestor, they're actually pitris. So what happens is that there's a loka called Pitri Loka, and when your ancestors die and they are not yet ready to get another body, they go to that planet and they do the planet, and then the people over here, they do shad performances for them so that they are able to get some food. So it's a complicated process there. We won't go into that, but I just wanted to mention here that so Pitri, people will worship the Pitris like that, so those who are there. Japanese do that in Japan, that is found. Ancestor worship is prevalent in Japan. So don't think of Bhagavad Gita in the context of India only. Right? It's
Ji,
all it's
Mataji.
global. Yeah, it's global, and it'll talk about things that can happen anywhere globally. Right?
But this is
Ma-
something new to me. In Japan, they are worshipping that way, or African countries, of course, I knew they worship,
Yeah,
they do black magic.
yeah, yeah, and all this is wrong. Yeah,
Mataji, in text 19, where he says that he gives heat and withholds the rain, and he is immortality. And I didn't understand what exactly it means by death personified.
where was it? Where was that?
In text 19.
Text 19. Okay, let's see text 19. Okay, so where he's saying tapami hamamam varsham, right? So when I'm
Yeah,
death personified, right? So
yeah,
what happens is that we also hear the term fear personified,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
We hear of
oh,
these terms, right? So death and fear, these are concepts, right? It's not like they have a form. Death doesn't have a
mm,
form, and fear doesn't have a form. But then, if you look at this universe, then there are different types of death, right? Death can come in different ways, different forms, different types, right? Similarly, fear also can be of different types. Fear of exam, fear of being killed.
mm,
Somebody has got fear of vomiting. Somebody just told me their daughter is suffering from fear of vomiting. So fear can be of any type, dog bite, snake biting, all kinds of fears, right? So if you take all these kinds of fears, or giving the example of fear, or take the example of death, different types of death that you can have, natural death, death by accident, death by murder, death of an animal, and then 84 lakh animal species, how do they die, and all that kind of stuff, death of a devotee, non-devotee, like that. So different kinds of death. So if you were to give a personality to that this is death personified, then Krishna is saying, I am that. Why? Because later on in 10th chapter, he is saying that Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham. I come in the form of death and I take away everything, right? Like that. Similarly, fear personified. I mean, whatever fears that we have in life, we are afraid of that. Right? It's like ask a child. They are afraid of failing the exam. How much big that fear is in their life, right? It's a big thing. I might
mm,
fail, right? So similarly, now, if you combine all that and make one fear personified, how fearful would that be? That personality will
mm,
be so fearful, right? Because it's got all kinds of fears are there in one place. So similarly, here he's
mm,
saying, I'm death personified. Like all kinds of death come from me only. I'm personification is basically I'm representing that, right? So
mm.
sometimes he will talk about that. And he showed him the death form, right? In the universal form, he shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is, I wanted to ask in the same this thing, the matter and spirit. is me. Matter is that our body is made by these different elements, that is God. And spirit means super soul.
No, basically, in this context, when he's using the term matter and spirit, he's talking about material and spiritual, right? So, in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we had read that there are, 8 types of material energies that he has, and those are what are those 8 material energies?
Water, earth, air,
Yes,
ether,
yeah.
and mind, intelligence, and ego.
Falsico and
Is it Bhumirapo Nalo Vayu?
correct,
Kamanaputadevacha.
correct. So then, to complete the list, then we also have Kham, right? Akash
We have to have what?
and fire.
Fire.
Akash,
Okay.
Kham, right? Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, right? 7,
Okay.
that 3 or 4. Khamano buddhi evacha. Ahankara itiyame bhinna prakriti ashtada. So these are my 5 inferior energies, he says. And then in the very next verse, he says, Aparayam itastvanyas prithvi vidhi me param jiva bhuta mahabhavo yanedam dharyate jagat. But apart from that, there is also my another energy, and which is our living souls. All of us are there. And what these living souls are doing, they are exploiting the inferior nature. And that's why material nature, one of the reasons it is called inferior is that it gets exploited. It can be exploited by the superior nature. Like we enjoy, right? We exploit like that. So in that context, he's using that there is matter and then there is spirit. The difference between matter and spirit is that spirit is eternal and matter is dead. Matter is not eternal, it gets destroyed. And also matter is dead in the sense that it cannot move, right? But when the spirit enters the matter, then the matter can move. Right? That's why a dead body doesn't move. As soon as the spirit soul leaves the dead body, leaves the body, it becomes, immovable, like that. So spirit is superior. Does that help you, Mataji?
Spirit part is not very clear. Can you explain or bit?
So
I
spirit is
didn't
just another word that they are using for non-material. Okay.
get.
So
Okay.
so there is material energy is there, right? All this earth, water, fire, air, ether, out of this world is created, right? But the material energy is dead by nature. Dead means will not move unless we put something superior in it. That superior thing, that superior energy is spirit, right? Now, when it comes to spirit, there are 2 types of spirit. Okay, so one, if you look at my hand here, so if my right hand, as you see on the screen, if my right hand is material nature, right, and my left hand is the spiritual nature, then material nature is all that you see in this material world. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, all that is here. And then the spiritual nature is God, it's Krishna. Okay, then in between these two, there is another spiritual nature. There's another type of a spiritual creation, which is the soul, like you and I, right? All these souls are there, but these are called marginal energy, right? They are called marginal energy, and the reason they are called marginal energy is that they are on the margin. Margin means the edges. So if this is material and this is spiritual, marginal energy is in the middle. So what will happen is this marginal energy has got a tendency, it can slip into the material or it can get elevated and go into the transcendental or spiritual, right? So we are all made up of that marginal. Our energy is marginal and we purify our energy and we become transcendental like that, right? So when he's talking about spirit, the spirit is including God as well as this marginal thing. Okay? Does that clarify spirit for you?
Ji,
Right?
thank you so much.
I mean, we have used the word spirit in the term of soul, right? Evil spirit and good spirit, like that. That's all we have said, right? Yeah.
Okay.
That's more.
Mataji, there is one more this thing. Though Mataji asked about you told about the fears. At every stage of life, there are fears comes. Though fear take different forms. Like when you are young, there is some different kind of fears, and when you're old, there are different kind of fears. But the thing is this, though we may say ki, after reading Bhagavad Gita, fears reduces, but it is not eliminated completely. Fears are there, but there is something you can, decrease the influence of the fears by reading, chanting, all these things. But they are not completely going away in my case. Now, please tell me how to get rid of those fears completely.
Yeah, they have not gone away for me either. I can tell you about that. I don't know about others in the call, but fears will be there. And there's a very interesting verse in the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 37. Let me bring that verse up. And it will tell you why fear arises. Bhayam dityabhiniveshyata syat eshat apetasya viparyayo smriti. And also tells you how to get over that fear. So let's see.
That is 11th canto.
I'm bringing that up. I'm bringing it up here.
Okay.
And you'll see it. Yeah, you'll see that. Okay, so let's go back again. Start sharing my screen. Zoom meeting. Share.
Actually, sometime what happens, Mataji, these fears are so much powerful, and
Yes.
you are overpowered by them. And though
Yes.
you try to pacify them, but
Yes.
still the effect is there. So, for at least for some time, the effect is too much.
Yes.
I want that how to get rid of them completely. Not
Yeah.
even completely, even if I get rid of them 90%, it will be,
Right.
that will not be wastage of time at least.
Right. Right. And that will come from abhyas, from practice, from practicing devotional service. Right? There are 5 items of devotional, potent items of devotional service. What are the 5 major items of devotional service? Anybody remembers? What are those 5 items?
Hearing, chanting.
Reading what?
Hearing, sunna.
Yeah. Hearing.
Chanting,
Chanting.
hearing.
Okay. So chanting is one. What else?
Is it Shravanam Kirtanam?
Kirtanam,
Bandhanam Dasyam?
No.
No.
dasyam.
No.
No,
Not that.
Please.
Not that.
Items. What are the 5 things that you should do?
Shravanam
What you are
Kirtanam.
talking about is the mood in which you do devotional service, right? I'm asking what are the 5? There are 64 items that were listed, but out of that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, okay, let's do only 5.
Chanting.
That is
Chanting.
already done. Chanting, everybody's saying. But I'm looking for the other 4.
Association with
Devotee.
Association of whom? Very good.
Having guru.
Association of whom?
Guru.
with devotees.
Guru. Taking
Association of
guru.
devotees. Yeah. Association of devotees. Okay. What else is there?
Taking guru.
Oh,
Diksha? No.
Diksha.
No. Take some Guru. Devatatma. Tanmayato Buddha.
Yeah. And I'm asking the question. So the question is to be answered. The answer is not here in this verse.
That's what I'm looking for sloka.
That's what I'm saying.
Beside
5
it,
items of devotional service.
Offering patram pushpam.
No.
Seva.
Can you read my message, please,
No, I
Mataji?
already did.
Oh, read the messages. I think Kiran has the answer there. Let's see. What Kiran
Chanting
said.
Association of Devotee.
Where is the message? Is it on WhatsApp? Probably. I can't see message on Zoom. Okay, let's see WhatsApp.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam, and Seva.
Yes,
No.
no. See, here's the answer that she has given. So chanting she has given, which is correct.
Yeah,
Association of
chanting
devotees.
Association of
You gave
Devotees.
that was correct. And then it was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Reading Bhagavatam, reading scriptures.
Bhagavatam. And then the next one is deity worship.
Aha.
And the next one is residing in the Dham.
These two won't be possible now, Mataji.
Why deity worship will not be
Deity
possible
worship
and why
we can,
residing in the Dham will not be possible?
no, deity worship we can do. Residing in the Dham,
Yeah. So
normal person like
let me explain what residing in the Dham means.
in the temple surroundings, we should.
Everything is
This Vrindavan, like we go to Vrindavan and stay there. Is that right?
So it's from first canto, 13th chapter, verse number 10. Bhavat vida bhagavatas tirtha bhuta swayam vibho tirtha kurvanti tirthani swanta stena gadabhrita. What it says, my Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Law, another personification, Sukumal Radhe Mataji. The personification, the Dham personified. So he's saying, because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage.
So even house?
Yes. Even your own house you can convert by making sure that personality of your Godhead in your heart is manifested.
Okay.
It's there in everybody's heart. So don't ever say that deciding in the Dham is not possible. It is possible.
Thank you.
Much. Yeah. And actually, whatever credits that a person gets when going to the Dham, actually, Guru Maharaj mentioned that about 15 years ago in one of his lectures. And he said that if somebody takes a plane and the plane crashes and he's not able to go to the Dham, right? He still gets the credit as if he has gone to the Dham. So Dham is not just going to that particular place. And then Dham is also not going to Vrindavan, doing the shopping and coming back. Right? So you go to the Dham to listen to the holy people over there.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the 5 important items of devotional service. Now going back to the question that Jyoti Mataji has asked, how do I overcome fear, right? So here they are saying that why does fear arise? Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body. Now tell me, Jyoti Mataji, that if you were to classify your fears, fear for your material body or fear for your soul, where are your fears majorly falling? And when I say fear for your material body, it means not only your body, but extensions to your body. What are some of the extensions to the body? Can somebody give example of extensions to the body?
Is your children and your near dear.
Absolutely. And it can go even far-fetched. Your children, your near and dear, your neighbors, your city, your state, right? For example, if
your
you are
house.
if you are in the state of Karnataka, and if Karnataka and Haryana have a cricket match, on whose side will you be?
Karnataka.
Why?
Because I live there.
It's an extension. Yeah, because Karnataka is an extension of yourself. Although you have no idea about Haryana, you have no idea about Karnataka, maybe you have no idea about cricket. But still, right? For example, there's a giant game that happens, or whenever there is a football match or a soccer match happening in America, I don't understand those two games, but I'm always siding California. Why? Because it's an extension of you. So misidentifies as the material body. So my question to you now, having explained what your material body is, Mataji, can you tell me where are your fears falling? Are they fear
body
in the body, related to the body, or they are fears
body?
All of them in the body, right? So that's why he's saying over here that fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body, because of absorption in the external illusion energy of the Lord, because we are completely absorbed in the whole world around us, right? Who else was identifying himself as the material body very badly and was very afraid?
What is that, Mataji?
Who was very much afraid because of identifying himself as the material body?
Ravanasara was there. Ravanasara was afraid.
Come closer. Come closer. Don't go to other scriptures. Stay in this scripture. Now tell me, who was very worried about death?
Our president.
Your president is not in the Bhagavad Gita. I'm talking about Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. Kauravas.
Bhagavad Gita. Who was in the Bhagavad Gita? Who was misidentifying himself as the body and was afraid of death?
Kauravas.
Misidentifying the soul with the body.
Duryodhan. Arjuna,
No,
Mataji.
no, in the
Yes. Who said Arjuna?
Arjuna. Simi.
Arjuna.
He said for 500 points. Yeah, where are the Kauravas mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? Where are the Kauravas speaking? There's no speaking.
I'm
right?
sorry.
Yeah, Duryodhan never speaks.
Yeah, Arjuna was out. Then Krishna says, no.
Yeah. So fear arises when you're so afraid. How can I kill my grandfather? How
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
do this? What's going to happen? All those fears are there in first chapter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
That's
fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. That's illusion. The biggest illusion is that you think you are the body. That's the biggest illusion that we have, right? And then what happens? Now you're absorbed in the external energy of the Lord.
That's true.
You get absorbed in the external energy, right? We basically, one small thing, you could start going to a shop, you like samosas, you start going to the shop, you eat samosas every day. And then you look around in the shop, you find gulab jamun also. Now you think like a gulab jamun after that will be very good. On the way back, you're coming back, you're like, gulab jamun was very sweet and nice. Now the sweet taste is gone from my mouth. And then you spot an ice cream shop and you eat ice cream also. So you slowly and slowly, you are getting more and more entangled in Maya, right? And when you get entangled in Maya like that, then what happens is that the more you get entangled into Maya, the more you're turning away from God. Because Maya has got this potency, it will make you forget Krishna. So when you are identifying yourself as a material body, because you are absorbed in the external energy of the Lord, which is Maya, okay, then fear is going to arise in you. What's going to happen if I don't have money to buy ice cream? What's going to happen to my state? What's going to happen if somebody attacks my country? What's going to happen to what about my team loses the cricket match? Like that, right? All these fears are there. What if my son loses the job? There are other people's sons losing their job, we don't care. But if our son loses the job, then the all hell breaks down like that, right? So then he says, when the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. So we forget this part, that we are servants of the Lord and we should be acting. A servant acts according to the will of the Lord. And we don't do that, right? Instead of serving the Lord, we start to serve ourselves by getting engaged and absorbed in the material energy, right? So here is the background of why fear arises. This bewildering, fearful condition is affected by the potency for illusion called Maya. So this fear that comes on you is because Maya creates that illusion in you and we start thinking we are the body. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. Right? So you should do devotional service to the Lord. Now the question is, how do I do devotional service to the Lord? Under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And what should be your relationship with the spiritual master? You should accept him as his worshipable deity and as your very life and soul. Right? This is how you will overcome fear.
So, Mataji, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Like, for example, my son traveled. He went to India and his health is not that good. But what I'm saying is, when I'm chanting Krishna's name all the time, still that worry is there, how he is going to. I told him to call me and I just want to hear his voice just 1 second. That's all. But he says, Mom, you're chanting God's Krishna's name. Why are you worried? So keep chanting. That's all. tell God. That's it. So that's what I'm doing every day now. Still, a motherly feeling. I just, if I don't get the call, just he says, Mom, I went to Singapore, I landed now. Now I had to travel to, what is that, in India, Bangalore. Now I'm traveling now. But still, why that worry is bothering me?
Worry
And
comes
then
because
I'm
of lack.
all the time I'm chanting Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Because like I said, it's practice. It's practice. All the time you're chanting Hare Krishna. That means that you are more advanced than those who are not chanting or not chanting it 24 times hours of the day as you do, right? And then as you continue above, then your quality of chanting also increases and improves.
Okay.
So devotional service is a journey. It's a
Yeah.
journey where you will constantly improve, right? Like your son said, you are chanting the names of Lord, why you should worry. But basically, he's saying, why don't you have faith in Krishna, right? And so
Yeah.
your faith in Krishna is there, but it is not that strong. For example, the faith of Prahlad Maharaj in Krishna, how would you compare his faith?
Unflinching.
Unflinching, right? There were so many situations in his life where he was flinching, right? One could flinch. That is, somebody throws you into a pit of snake, will you flinch or not?
Of course.
Right? But was he flinching?
No.
Because he had that faith in God. And so, although devotional service first begins with faith, Adav Shraddha, right?
Yeah.
But the same Shraddha will continue to be more and more. In the beginning, it's Komal Shraddha, it's soft. It can sway here and there, right? But then as you progress in devotional service, then your faith becomes so strong that even if there are reversals in life, you will look at those reversals as a positive thing. As a positive thing.
What is Adav Shraddha?
Adav Shraddha means in the beginning there is faith. Adav means beginning, first.
But one more thing, Mataji, and see that last two lines, in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord, under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and as his very life and soul. Yes, my Guru Maharaj is my worshipable God. Every day I see his picture and I just say pranam, and then I accept I do my chanting. But I cannot go directly to him, bother him. I just worship, that's all, as if I am worshipping.
And that is where the faith is. That is where the faith comes, right? So there is Vapu Seva and there is Vani Seva. You have done the IDC course, you would know about that, right? So there's Vapu Seva. Vapu Seva is when you come near the Guru and then you do the Seva to him, like cook food for him and all that. And you say, I am doing service to Guru. But then there is also Vani Seva, that you serve by your Guru by listening and following the words that he has spoken. And Vani Seva is much better than Vapu Seva. And the reason for that is that Vani Seva can continue even if the Guru is there or not, even if the Guru is in your city or not, you are in Guru's city or not, Guru is on your planet or not.
Yeah.
For example, the Prabhupada disciples, they are serving Prabhupada and following his instructions.
Yeah.
Is Prabhupada here? No. Are they complaining? No. Right? Because Prabhupada continues to be their worshipable deity and they continues to be their life and soul. So everything that they're doing in their life is centered around Srila Prabhupada. Is this something in alignment with Srila Prabhupada, what I'm doing? Is this something that will progress whatever Srila Prabhupada wanted to do? Right? Is this something that Srila Prabhupada will not agree with? That constant check is happening in their heart. And that is where it is, right? And the guidance of the bona fide spiritual matter comes like there are so many lectures he gives. We should listen to at least one lecture every day of the spiritual master, right? And to understand that how by worshipping the spiritual master you will get strength and courage is one of the mystical things which doesn't happen in the material part of the world, like if you're studying in Stanford and there's a professor of economics and you bring his picture and you do arti to him every day, you're not going to pass the economics exam, right? But if you worship your spiritual master, you will get that inner thing to be able to understand the Bhagavad Gita and understand Bhagavatam and do devotional service properly.
Thank you, Mataji.
So
Nice
going back to the
explanation.
original person who asked that question, which was Jyoti Mataji. So Jyoti Mataji, are you?
G.
You are there? Yeah. So actually in a very famous verse that we have where in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, and what does 18.66 tell us? It's a very famous verse.
There is the Sarvadharman Parityajya.
Right.
Is that?
Yes.
Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Raja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Mascha.
Right. So let me bring up 18.66 here. So he's saying, this we all know. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear, right?
Yeah.
And in the purport, as we read the purport, here Prabhupada is talking about with faith and love, one should surrender unto Krishna. So Jyoti Mataji, faith is very, very important. Because if faith is not there, fear will be there. When the faith is there, like we read today, who read? I don't know. I think it was you, Jyoti Mataji, or maybe I may be wrong. But we read, no, it was Simi, I think, was reading. Who read that? Those who are my devotees, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have, right? So that faith that Krishna is going to preserve, that faith has to come, right? And the faith and love, and then you surrender to Krishna. And the process of surrender to Krishna is described in Bhakti Vilas. And so here's the Sanskrit for that, right? So what is recommended here in the Sanskrit is here, Srila Prabhupada explains that. And he says, according to the devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to the devotional service of the Lord, right? So you accept those principles. Now in today's verse we read, Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti prativata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti majyajinopi ma, right? So you had asked that question. And that ancestor worship and who worships the ghost was the question that you asked, right? So here he is saying that don't do that kind of a devotional worship that will take you ultimately away from God. You do those kinds of devotional processes that will lead you to devotional service of the Lord. And what were the 5 processes we talked about just now?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam.
No. What were the 5 that we talked about just now?
That is Shravanam, association of devotee, deity worship, reading scriptures, and recitation in Dham. Is
residing in the dham. Yes, yes. Right? So chanting the holy names of the Lord. These are the 5. They are there in front of you on the screen. So here he's saying that you should do the such religious principles. And our scriptures are telling you like, okay, fine, there are so many religious principles. Which one should I follow the most? I don't have any time. Okay, do these 5. Right? And then they're saying one may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in social order. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, whatever you will do it. But if by executing his duty, one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. And Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, Shrama eva hi kevalam. It is Shram, Prashram only. He didn't get anything out of it. Anything that does not lead to the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. One should be confident that here is the thing, the faith is coming here. One should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties.
That's what I am.
Yeah. Rakshishyati iti vishvaso. That vishwas was what your son was telling you. That you are chanting, why don't you have that faith, right?
All the time he tells Masaji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I share something?
Yeah, sure.
So I was attending Pran Govindas Prabhu's class. So he was talking about faith. Faith is very important. And there was one incident when Yudhishthir Maharaj had to kill Dronacharya. Krishna asked him to, tell about Ashwatthama. It was a weakling. So he asked him to say that he killed Ashwatthama, though he was an elephant. So Yudhishthir Maharaj had a doubt on Krishna, and that doubt, for a second, he had a doubt, and he had to go and see the hell. So the faith, if you don't have a faith, it is very very critical. Yeah, and today I learned in the class that lamenting and illusion are the person who laments and is in illusion. Krishna doesn't go to them. So a heart full of gratitude is the one who can receive Krishna. Because one of the Mataji explained me that if a mother's child is lamenting a lot, then it will be so difficult for the mother to show the real love if the child is crying, crying, crying all the time. Thank you, Mataji. I just wanted to add this much. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So full faith. See, what was lacking in that incident about full faith was that if the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is coming and saying that you should not, you go and, smudge the truth a little bit, right? And say Ashwatthama, I killed Ashwatthama, and leave it open to interpretation by others as to what that means. His thing was, no, there's a little pride in there in him that I have never spoken lies. I will not. Like that, right? So that doubt was there that when the Supreme, in contrast, you see Arjuna, Karishyami tava vacha. I will do as you tell me. Right? After Krishna shows him the universal form and explains everything.
Yeah.
And 18th chapter, he says, you do everything. Then Arjuna just comes and says that I will do whatever. And then he went and killed his own grandfather, Bhishma Pitama, right? Yeah. So that faith is very, very important.
So yeah, you are right. So when you start looking into yourself that you have power or you are right, then like he kind of doubted, right? He had trust on him more than Krishna,
Krishna,
and
exactly.
then he hesitated for a bit, and yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, not only hesitated, he spoke those other words also, right? Ashwatthama is killed, but the elephant. He did that.
He did that, and then I see, and the conch is suppressed.
Ashwatthama mara gaya, lekin hati.
He was something.
Yeah, he did the whole thing. Yeah.
So Krishna already knew, so he was ready with the conch.
Yeah. Okay, so we are actually on the top of the hour. And we never
No,
got
but
to
we
the
didn't
verse for
read a
today.
chapter. We didn't read our verse for today.
Yeah. We will read it next week now.
What time, Mataji,
December
what
come.
time you started?
It's
9?
there on the WhatsApp group.
6
9 or
o'clock.
8:30? Oh. 8:30, you must have started 8:30. Is that?
No. We started at 9 your time.
Okay, then I just started already. I didn't lose. Anyway, Mataji. Yes, I was chanting, still I was worried. Why? That's what is that is a little bit lack of faith.
Yeah. It's lack of.
I need to get that one.
Yeah.
Can
Thank
I
you.
say something?
Hmm.
See, what is the pattern actually comes? You have fear. You try to overcome that. Next time, another fear comes which is of greater magnitude. And what happens at that time when you are chanting? Mataji, chanting is not with the devotion or anything. Chanting is just mechanical, and you want this thing should go away. You're doing it for diverting your mind or something like that. So what I want is that though you said that out with practice it you will be able to overcome, but how much practice? If we are not able to do now, when will we able to do it?
And that is why it is said that people should not be waiting till retirement to start devotional service. Devotional service you should be started right from the young age, because if you start it in the young age, number one, good habits will be formed, and your chances of straying into the lure of Maya will be reduced.
Yeah.
Right?
But
And
Mataji, the thing is this: when it is not that when I was young or anything, I was not doing, but differently I was doing. Not that what I'm doing now.
now,
I used to do chanting, that everything I used to do, but differently, without uh, understanding maybe, or
yes,
without.
without understanding, and that happens mostly in India because of the cultural momentum, right? Dadiji was doing it, so I'm also doing it without
So you
understanding.
keep on doing
Now
that.
the good point. Now you yourself see your progress, right? And is that you chanted the holy names of the Lord without even understanding, but it had the effect on you that today you are sitting in the association of devotees,
Yes,
right? And today you are
the
reading
habit has
Prabhupada's books,
become.
and you are associating with the most powerful devotee, which is Srila Prabhupada through his books, right? So your progress is happening. You're just not seeing it in context.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
And then
Same
let
thing
it be.
happened with me too, Mataji.
So
From
don't be in a
childhood, I was
hurry.
going
You
to
don't be in a
temples.
hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
That it has to happen in this. It has to finish in this life, right? Devotional service by itself is such a gratifying and a happy item that um, people don't care whether they get liberated or not. They just say that whether I am in heaven or in hell, all that I want is to be able to do devotional service to you, because devotional service is the means and also the end. After you go to Golok Vrindavan, what are you going to do there? You're going to engage in devotional service, right? So what's the big deal, right? So if accident by accident or for whatever reason you're going to come back to this world, I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good ambition to have to go to Golok Vrindavan, but don't be over anxious that, oh, now I have become old and I don't think I'm going to achieve God in so much time. It depends on the intensity with which you do the devotional service. So continue to this is a formula that has been given to us, the 5 potent items of devotional service. There's nobody stopping you from starting to read the Srimad Bhagavatam from tomorrow. Actually, just last week, Vaisheshika Prabhu had mentioned that we are planning to distribute 100,000 Srimad Bhagavatam in this whole world, and 8 Srimad Bhagavatam in this whole world by September or December of this year. And as part of that, it's not just distributing Bhagavatam, we should also be reading the books that we distribute. So as part of that, we have also pledged that I'm going to read X number of pages. It could be a small pledge, like I'm going to read 1 page of Bhagavatam every day. That's fine. It's going to take you 50 years to complete the Bhagavatam. Or you can say, I'm going to read 8 pages and, then you finish that 40 pages, you finish it in 1 year, like that, right? So there's nothing that stops you from doing that. So that intensity and that strong desire should be there in order to support the other thing that is bothering you, that is fear. So if you have a strong desire to overcome fear, then you will have, and you know that this is the way to overcome fear, then you will want to do this, right? If you really want to overcome fear. So that's how it has to be worked upon, right? So ultimately, the answer comes to devotional service and comes to association of devotees, which is happening, Like, I mean, even if you look at the kind of questions you were asking or kind of reflections you were sharing 2 years ago versus now, there's a world of a difference there, right? So yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen in its own time.
It's like you said, Mataji, when childhood, innocently, unknowingly, we do seva and we do everything. I did everything, but I didn't ask for any results or anything. But now, that is a result I am with association like devotees like you and getting information from you, and I'm having the guru's blessings. I got initiation, Vaisheshika Prabhu, and I'm listening to him. Those are the things I feel that is what my good fortune brought it to this stage.
Exactly. That
And
you're
from
able to
here,
hear
I want
Prabhupada.
to,
Yeah, it's majorly is Prabhupada. Right?
Yeah.
He came and he started this movement, and then all of those who are coming underneath of Prabhupada are helping you out. So Krishna is just arranging us as conduits for us to pass that information, Prabhupada's information to you.
And from
Or
here,
Krishna's
I
information.
want to go further up, Mataji. How?
It's a good
Can
ambition. Continue to do what you're doing with more focus. More focus. Go back and read everything more focused, right? Be mindful when you're reading your verses here, when you're reading the concepts here. Be mindful of what you're reading, right? And this is focus time. Close the door of your room and say, I am, please do not disturb.
That's true.
Right? That's the kind of thing is involved, right? Otherwise, if you sit in the sofa in the middle of a living room, everybody's coming and going, and sometimes you go there and talk, and sometimes you don't.
No.
That is not seriousness.
But there's a small word, Mataji, there. I can close the door. I can just say, sit aloof. I want to read. But the stupid mind goes somewhere here and there.
But which is better? Which is better, sitting in a room where your mind is bothering you and others are also bothering you, versus sitting in a room where only your mind bothers you and others don't bother you? And on the internet,
I can bring back
other
my
people.
mind.
Yeah, but you can't push away others, right? That's why close the door. There are doors. Right? There are doors. Even on our senses, Krishna has put the doors.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
To put the doors, yeah. So rather than saying that I am in this situation, I'm in that situation. Everybody will have situations, and I didn't get this and I didn't get that. Right? Rather than going into that mindset, and I'm not saying that you do it. I'm just saying that rather than anybody being in that kind of a mindset, that I'm getting fear, I'm getting things, I worry about my son, I worry about my job, I worry about the weather, I worry about the war, all kinds of things, right? And I did not have this, but others have more money than I. So what's going to happen? Instead of doing all that, right?
I never felt
just look at whatever you have. Look
I'm
at
happy.
whatever you have. And
I'm
then
happy.
with that, right? Just look at that. And with that, you now live within those constraints. Because those constraints have been provided by Krishna.
That's true.
That understanding has to be there. Like and that is what surrender is, to understand that I'm a servant of Krishna. I'm actually helpless. We're helpless. We can't control anything. We might think we can, but we can't.
Oh, we can't.
Right. Yeah. So that's the first level of surrender. To that understanding has come. Right? At least that philosophically, that understanding has come in us that we cannot. But then to living it is another thing. Okay. So let's make a resolve here that ourselves, that we will read at least some part of Bhagavatam, even if it is one shloka that I read, it will have its effect. Okay, chanting you're already doing, association of devotees you're already doing. When you're reading Prabhupada's book, you're associating with Prabhupada. So that is there. Dham, you can make your own home a dham. You know, clean your altar, put the deity nicely, put some flowers every day, do some worship. That becomes a dham for you. Right?
Like
So,
Prahlad Maharaj says, God is everywhere.
Right. And he had such faith that God is everywhere. And in order to prove, Kanteya pratijanihi name bhaktya pranashyati. So he did not want his devotee to fall down from the eyes of other world, rest of the world, that they would have made fun of him. And he said, is he in this pillar? And he said, yes. So Krishna had to sustain that statement from the devotee. He came out of the pillar. Right? So that kind of a faith he had, right? And it takes a long time. It takes practice.
That's true.
Yeah. But the good thing is we have started. We have already joined the freeway, and that freeway is going to take you to the destination. All that we have to do is to continue to change our vehicles and get onto a, better vehicle that will not stop on the obstacles that come on the way, right?
That's true.
That's what it is.
Thank you,
my dear devotees,
thank
I'll
you,
take
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Kalpatrubyascha kripa sindhubhye
Sindhubhye cha
patitaram
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo